Hey, buddy.
Yeah, buddy, what's happening?
How you going, mate?
We're waiting for you.
You've been waiting for me, huh? How you going? I was
Yeah.
just trying to set up all this the application and whatnot, man. Sorry about that.
No worries.
What's going on, team? Can you all hear me?
Hey, how you going, buddy? Yeah.
Good, good, good.
Yeah.
You just, Tony, it's you.
Yeah.
You don't want to know what just happened. I'm
I
at,
can imagine.
I'm at my neighbor's house. I had to steal their internet.
Oh my God, you're kidding me.
I'm not lying. It's the funniest thing. And then their internet's gone down. But as we always say, no problem. It's just the way it is. What I'll do is if everybody can just mute themselves out, just if there's any background noise and stuff like that, and then we'll just unmute at the end if there's any questions or anything like that. Let's see do a little bit of a roll call. Let's see who's on. Let me see who's on. Thanks, Kelly, Carla. All right, cool. Is everybody pumped up and ready?
Yeah.
Good,
Man.
because I am. Let me tell you something. I'm pumped. So, firstly, I just want to say congratulations for committing to jump onto this. I really want to pour my heart and soul into helping you transform the way you see things, because it's really about life is about how you see things, and you know where your focus is what you're going to achieve. And one thing that we know for certain is where focus goes, energy flows. So I would suggest that you play full out. And what I mean by that is, you know, stay paying attention throughout this next hour or however long it takes. I'm not going to put a time to it because I'm just here to pour out as much valuable information as possible, and then commit for the next 3 Tuesdays at the same time, because I can honestly tell you this. If you pay attention, if you take notes, and if you go out and execute, which is really, really important, you've got to go out there and execute, then you'll have wild success. So if you can do all 3 things, then you're at the right place at the right time. And I just really want to set the pace before we get into it, because if you can't do that, then don't waste your time. You're wasting your own time. You're not wasting my time. And I just want to be honest with everybody, because I can give you as much information as possible, but unless you actually take it from here, you write it down, you take it out of your mind, you write it down, and then you go and apply it, then nothing's going to happen. Is that kind of making sense? Thumbs up. Yeah. Cool. Perfect. So I really want you to think about why are you here? Why did you sign up for this? You know, what are you looking? Because this is an invitation to help you recognize, uncover, and put to use the most powerful resources you already possess. And that's you. You already have everything inside of you. Sometimes we look externally for things and we have them inside of us. But it's about unlocking your full potential. And that's what 2019 is all about. It's about unlocking your full potential. This program is designed to help you become the best version of yourself. Not to become anybody else, but to become the best version of yourself. So you can go out there and you can dominate. So you can go out there and you can take ownership. Because here's my belief, that deep inside of us, we all have an inner hunger to be somebody, to do something more, to give, to create, to leave a legacy. Not just to wake up like an accident in the morning. You know, you weren't born as an accident. You're born on this earth for a purpose. There's a reason why you're here. But it's just about unlocking your full potential and deleting all the roadblocks that you've put upon yourself or other people have put upon you along your journey in life. So if I can just give you some insight to help you unlock your full potential. I'm not going to give you the secret. A lot of this stuff, you'll be like, this is simple. And it is. It's simple. It's simple to do, but it's also simple not to do. So really take a moment right now and just have a think about what's something that you want to obtain over the next 4 weeks out of this. Now, what's something that, you know, more like a disempowering belief that you have, something that, like, you know, you're pulling in with your left hand and you're pulling back with your right. You know, if you do this in a motor, you just go around in circles. You know, if you sometimes in life you feel like you're just going around in circles. So I just really want you to reflect for that moment and think about that stuff. You know, if you can't come up with the answer now, I would encourage you to go back to this and answer this, because it's not like something that's just going to pop in your head and go, well, this is what I came here for. It's like, you know, well, I just came here because that buddy just told me that you should jump on this, and that's why I came here. You know, so it may be something that you need to go back and reflect upon and come up with an answer for yourself. Because I can honestly tell you this, we are all here for different reasons. We're all here to achieve a different outcome. Before we get started, I just really want to share with you, because some of you know me and others don't know me, but I've been involved with many different things, many different businesses along the way. We started business. So firstly, I left school at 15, and in the past, you know, ever since I left school, I've been associated in some way or some form with these companies. Some of you may recognize these logos. We did a lot of stuff with Corporate Health Week at the Sydney Airport with Qantas. We opened up a nutrition club, the first one in 2014, which was just you know, a healthy Starbucks. We've been on the SBS radio. I've done work with Western Sydney Local Health for the government. I've been on the board of Westfields doing work with them when I was in construction. You know, I did a Get Fit September with St. Patrick's Catholic School, which is a really good experience because it was with the junior kids. So we'll be able to go out there to the schools and, you know, teach them how to get off their iPads and get out to the yards and do all that type of stuff. So I've done a whole range of different things. And this is just to date. We've worked with the Police Boys Youth Club, which is probably the most recent one, where we ran our 24 Fit program with them. I'm associated with Herbalife Nutrition, and I have been for the past 5 years. We've done a lot of work with Rockdale City Council and the local mayor there, you know, who's been absolutely a huge impact in my life, Steve Camper. But we've also done work with Crunch Fitness, F45 Training, Anytime Fitness, and the list goes on. You know, it can go on. And in life, I want you to think about your association is just about networking. You know, life is just about networking. I've been able to, you know, get into these different places with these brands that some of you may or may not know, just through simply networking with the right people. Life is just a big conversation. Write this in your notes, guys. Get through life. One of my great mentors taught me this. They said, get through life by making new contacts every single day. Put them in your phone book. Well, now we have social media, right? We have, you know, Facebook and Instagram and all this type of stuff. But then find a creative way to stay in touch with them, because you just never know how and where you'll cross paths, and you can reach out to them. And that's all business is. That's all life is. It's just about networking. It's just about networking. So you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, cool. That sounds all good. But, you know, I've spoken on stages in front of 2,000 people. I've spoken on stages in front of 10,000 people. And I've spoken, you know, you see down the bottom, a small group of people down at our PCYC Nutrition Club. You know, the bottom right-hand side there is at St. Patrick's School when we're working with the kids, Get Fit September. Steve Camper from Rockdale City Council, you know, got invited to his office, and he actually did a speech in Parliament about the impact that I was having on the local community and how I was changing people's lives, and that got published. And it was good. And the reason why that happened, just so everybody knows, is I had some challenges with the first nutrition club that I opened up. I had some neighbors that were complaining about noise. So I demanded that I wouldn't shut down the club. I said, I'm not shutting down the club. So I went and knocked on this guy's door. I literally just went, I didn't know the guy. I went and knocked on his door and I said, this is the impact that I'm having on your local community. I'm changing people's lives. We have 150 people rocking up to our club every single night, and your neighbors want to shut us down, and council's making us shut down. So got this guy on our side, which was awesome. You know, going to council and going to Parliament and writing a speech about us. It was absolutely incredible, and it inspires me. And I want to take you back, if I can. I want to take you back a few years of my childhood, because we all have a story. So you see in the bottom right-hand corner, there's my mum and my sister. So I only have one sister, and we grew up in a broken family where I didn't get to meet my dad until I was 14 years old. And my grandparents in the top left corner, they had a huge impact in my life, a huge impact. And I must say that my grandfather was the male role model in my life, and he taught me the ropes of life. And you know, he is my father, you know, and I respect him dearly. We lived with them up until I was 12 years old, before mum moved out. You know, it was tough for mum, you know, single parent, you know, always doing it tough. And you know, I never forget our upbringing. And you know, at the time, I didn't know any better. You know, as a single mum, being a single parent, I didn't know what it felt like not having a father. You know, it's because my grandfather was there, my juddo, you know, we say in Arabic, my juddo was there, and he taught us the stuff, and I didn't go without. But I just remember that mum always did it tough. And I share this with you is because your past doesn't equal your future. So why I showed you where I am today, I want you to think about where I was. Some of you that are on this call may have been in a worse situation. I don't know. Some of you may have been in a better situation. But here's what I do know. It is what it is. You can only take control of your destiny. No, not your circumstance, not the circumstances around you, not the environment, no other people, nothing. You have to take ownership. You have to stand tall, and you need to say, that's it. This is what I'm going to do. Until. And when I look back today at the age of 35, and I look at my life and everything that we went through. Sorry, guys, for 1 second. There's a big helicopter from the army flying over me. 1 second. So as I look back and I think about life circumstances and everything that had happened to me at the time, playing the victim, you know, why is my life like this? You know, I wasn't always the most positive person. I was very negative, you know, very rude to other people, but I was determined. I must say that. You know, at the age of 15, when I left school, I said, you know what, I'm going to make something out of this. I'm going to draw the line in the sand. I'm going to change my family tree forever. We're not going to struggle anymore. You know, we're going to have the best time of our life for the rest of our lives. And, you know, life went on, and, you know, I can go on, and I will throughout the next 4 weeks, and I really share this with you, but, you know, I happily married now. I've got 2 amazing children. There's little Justin and my daughter Jade. She likes to be called Beba, but I call her Jade. And my beautiful wife Maria. And there in the bottom right hand corner, you know, I got to, this photo was taken last year, and that's my dad. And I got a great relationship with my dad now, and it's completely changed me as a person. You know, it's taken a weight off my shoulders. And, you know, the resentment that I was holding towards him, you know, it isn't there anymore, you know, and it's something over the next 4 weeks that I'll share with you, because it's quite deep. And all I can say is that, you know, your past doesn't equal your future. And I want you to write this in your notes. I really want you to write this and understand this. Your past experience or circumstances won't equal your future. If you're willing to change, you've got to be willing to change. You can't just go, you know what? I hope and I wish. Sorry, guys. I hope and I wish. because luck doesn't fall from the sky and land on your lap. That's not what happens. You've got to go out there and you've got to create it. You've got to put yourself in the right situation at the right time, and you've got to make it happen. But when you start to understand this, is that your past experiences don't equal your future, then you go out with a different type of energy. Is everybody with me? Just nod your heads. Everybody understand it? Cool. Good. So I'm going to shift gears now, and I want to take you to a place where something that's helped me, and now that I can, deliver some stuff, and there's no better feeling than giving back, right? So I want to share with you one of my great mentors that I've had the opportunity to work with. He's Tony Robbins. So my business partner that lives in the UK got the opportunity to travel with Tony Robbins for a whole year as a platinum partner, and I had the opportunity through Eddie to go to one of his events, and that event was in 2013, and it was a business mastery event. And let me tell you something, I left that event, I walked in with an open mind, and I left that event and I increased my business by 30% because I applied what he taught. I executed. So you remember we started this call and I said to you, I'm going to give you the information, but if you don't leave here and execute, then you're not going to get the result. It's as simple as that. So it's a 2-minute video. I want you not just to watch this and listen. I want you to watch this, listen, and take notes. Because when you do all 3 things, what happens is comes down into your nervous system. And then what I want you to think about while you're taking notes is take notes in a manner that you're going to go and teach this to somebody. Yeah, it's called 3-dimensional learning. It is the best thing for you. Always think to yourself, I want to go out and teach somebody this. I want to go out and share with somebody what I just learned. So fingers crossed that this internet goes really well, but we're going to try this. Ready? Let's see what happens. Can you hear? No, 1 second.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see nothing.
Oh, you can't see? Can you hear the thing?
No, I can only see that picture get focused with Tony Robbins.
One
Yeah,
second.
same here.
1 second. Ooh. You don't need to be smart to do this, just so you all know. Here it is. Okay. Let's try this. If it doesn't work, we'll just move on. And then what I'll do is I'll send this to everybody because it's really, really good video. 1 second. It's not playing yet. 1 second. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, but nothing from Tony Robbins.
Okay. All right, no problem. I'm going to send it to everybody. I was challenged with that because I knew that it was going to be quite difficult to try to upload 2 things. But nevertheless, actually, let me see. No, it's not there. Oh, yeah. Write this down in your notes, guys. So Tony Robbins, where focus goes, energy flows. It's a 2-minute video. You'll find it on YouTube, right? And I'll also send it to everybody as well. So where focus goes, energy flows. And what Tony teaches in this 2-minute video, he says, what we focus on is what we're going to feel. So that's where your energy is. And he says, it gives it like this, like he gives a really good analogy. You're driving in the car, right? And how many people, when they lose control, right, and they're going to come to have an accident, they hit the telegraph pole? Why do you think that is? It's because while they're losing control, there's a big open space. And what do they focus on? There's a telegraph pole, boom. And they hit the telegraph pole. Yeah, because they're focusing on that. If you've ever watched anybody that races cars, right? And I've been on a professional track with professional car riders, or even people that ride motorbikes. They always tell you, make sure you look into the corner, then look where you're going to exit. So you're coming into the corner here, right, at this point, but you're exiting over there. Look where you're exiting. Don't look at the road. Don't look in front of you. You got to focus on where you're exiting. And our life is the same way. You can't look at the challenges. And I remember I was having this conversation with Joe only last week. I said, don't look at these roadblocks right now. Look ahead. Look ahead. Look, like it's just going to keep coming towards you. The more we focus on the things that you don't want in your life, the more it's going to happen. And I don't want you to take this the wrong way, guys. I'm not about positive thinking. I'm not about rub your ears and just go, it's going to happen. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is that through 80% of your psychology and focus on the positive things, bad things are going to happen, or problems are going to happen, or challenges are going to be faced your way. But when you're just focusing on the things that you want to achieve, like let's just say you have a goal to lose 20 kilos, or you have a goal to go and compete on stage, right? You're going to have roadblocks along the way. There's going to be stuff that are going to happen, but it doesn't matter. You're looking at the end outcome. And the end outcome for you is to get on that stage and to be at your best physical shape. You know, if it's business that you want to grow, you know, your outcome is, I'll give you a perfect example, actually. This online course. So I set out in 2019, I said, you know what? I want to do this online course. I want to do this. I want to give back, and I want to do this online course. So I had set it in my diary to do this in March. We're in May. It's a bit delayed, right? But guess what? It got done. I didn't beat myself up and go, I can't believe I'm just going to wait till next year. It's not what I did. I had some challenges. I had some things pop up, some imperative things that were just there. But guess what? Tick, it's done now. Yeah, and that's how you need to do. You need to focus on that stuff. And I really want you to write this down in your notes and look at it like this. Because what controls and determines the quality of our lives? Great question. What is it that controls and determines the quality of our lives? There's only 3 different things. One is your focus. The second is your language. And the third thing is your physiology. Your physiology is your body, the way you move. That's why exercising is so good. That's why going for a walk is so good. Because motion, yeah, equals emotion. Write that in your notes. Motion equals emotion. So even if you're not feeling so good, I'm not saying that you should go out and exercise, because there's some people that absolutely hate exercising, and there's nothing wrong with that. But here's what I would say to you, is if you're not feeling so good, just get up out of your chair, go for a walk, get some fresh air, take some deep breaths. Because what are you doing with your physiology? You're moving your face. What do people do that are upset and going through challenges? Are they walking around smiling? Or are they walking around, slumped shoulders, shallow breathing, yeah, straight face? They're not smiling. You know how many muscles, how many feelings we have in our face when we smile? We've got to invest in our smile. We've got to invest in our physiology. Because 80% of your success in life is going to come from that. That's all. It's not the skill. It's the physiology. It's your body. It's the way you move, the way you wake up in the morning. It's when you're not feeling so good and you do one more rep, Alex. That's the physiology. That's that mindset, because then it injects belief in you, like, yeah, bang, I'm in. That's what it does. It's when you're making a call and you're in business and you want to make a sale and you're not feeling so good. It's when you go for a walk and you pick up the phone, you make that call. That's the physiology. The second area that's going to really shape your quality of your lives is your language. Is the language that we tell other people, is the language that other people speak to us. Stand guard of your mind. Be careful. Don't allow other people to put things, words, language into our brain and we comprehend it in a different way. The worst thing of all is text messaging, because there is zero emotion in text messaging. I could be doing a million things, and somebody text messaged me this really long thing, and I don't want to be rude because I've opened the text message. I go, okay. They're like, I can't believe it. I just poured my heart and soul, and he's like, okay. So there's no emotion in it. So the meaning that we give to something is my next point, is what really determines the quality of our lives. Yeah, the meaning, like if somebody cuts you off in the car, yeah, the meaning that we give to that person, like, you freaking prick, or you know what I mean? You cut me off, da da da. Instead of us going, well, hang on a second, maybe they're really late for something, or maybe something's wrong and they need to get somewhere. Give it a different meaning, because meaning equals feelings as well. So as soon as you start to change your language and you start to change the meaning, things will start to change for you. So it's a work in progress. You know, just catch yourself. Words like this, language like this. I hope that this is going to happen. I wish, I will try, I don't know, I can't. That's the language. That's the language of things that aren't going to empower you. Because remember, if it's physiology, then it's also psychology. And the psychology is where I can do it. You know, I've never done that before, but I'm going to give it a crack. You know, it gives it a different feeling. Your mindset is good. Your mindset is a different place. And the third area is what you're focusing on. What are you actually focusing on? Are you focusing on the solution, or are you focusing on the problem? Are you focusing on the goal, or are you focusing on the challenge, what you're faced with right now? Are you focusing on why you can't, or why it's a must? You know, it's like I sometimes speak to parents that have got young kids, and they're like, I want to build a future, and I want to build a business, and I want to do this, and I want to do that, but I can't because I don't have time. Why don't you have time? Oh, because I got kids and I'm really busy with my kids. I'm like, well, what are you focusing on right now? Are you focusing on your kids and why you can't, and you're using them as an excuse? Or should you right now be saying, my kids are the reason why I need to go out and do this? So your focus equals feelings. You know, 3 main areas. Everyone got that down? Good. Here's my ultimate belief, is that each of us can become more, do more, and have more in our lives if we are willing to work on ourselves each and every day. That is a must. I call it the hour of power. I wake up in the morning, I spend 1 hour to myself. So at the moment, it's at 5 a.m. It's been in the past, it's been at 3 a.m., it's been at 4 a.m., it's been at whatever it takes. Whatever it takes, I spend an hour to myself. No emails, no social media, no text messaging, nothing. Just an hour to myself. I wake up, I read something, I listen to something, I meditate, I pray, I do whatever I want in that hour. Yeah, but I connect with myself. I connect with myself. I'm not saying to you that you've got to get up and you've got to do affirmations, you know, stand in the mirror and go, you know, I'm healthy, I'm good looking, I'm healthy, I'm good looking, I'm healthy. I'm not saying to do that. And I'm not against it either. I know people that do it. Just, you got to find what's going to motivate you. You've got to find what's inside of you, what's going to help you get to that next level. But when you take yourself and you give yourself time to start to realize who you are without the noise of phone, without the noise of people, without the noise of things around you, then you start to discover who you are and you start to unlock everything that's inside of you. And here's what I want to say to you. Write this in your notes. Don't give a shit about what people think or what people say. Write it like that, exactly like that. Don't give a shit about people, what people think or what people say. You know, and I say this to a few people that I coach, they go to me, you know what, we want to open up an Instagram page, or we want to open up Facebook, but we don't know what to post. So what do you mean you don't know what to post? Well, we don't know what to post. So just post, just do you. Just put any content out there. It doesn't really matter. Just put your content out there, because you can't do anything else. You can only be you. You can only be you. You know, what generally holds us back from moving forward is our past. What generally holds us back from moving forward is something somebody told us. And then what we do is we stack it. We put it inside of us. And even though we're like, oh, I don't give a shit, I don't care, I'm going to be over that. But deep inside of us, it's locked away. And why I know that is because that's how I felt about my father and many other things that have happened in my life. And over these next 4 weeks, I'm going to help you unlock that. I'm going to help you undo the shoelaces and let that out. It's what's going to set you free. It's what set me free. Somebody's reached out to me and helped me do this. And now it's for me to give back to you guys. I'm here for you. I'm not here for me. You know, you've committed your time to be here, then I'm committed to give you 120%. Because it's massive and immediate action. That's what it's going to take. That's what it's really going to take. I'm going to give you so much value that you're going to be itching to come back for more. I'm going to give you so much value that you're going to go out there and share this with so many people. Because it's my passion to help people to unlock their full potential. Because if I could do this from where I was, in the circumstances where I grew up and the education that I had, to be where I am today, in the position that I am today, anybody can do it. I had belief. I had belief. And it's not, I didn't always have belief. I wasn't the most popular kid at school. I wasn't a cool kid. I wasn't the most athletic kid. I was a chubby kid. You know, we weren't the kids that went on holidays. But I was determined. And then just through life and life circumstances, we met some people. And then I still remember the day when I said, you know what? I'm not going to let my past determine my future. I'm in charge. Before I started doing an hour of power, before I heard Tony Robbins, before I started reading books, before all of that, it was just a mindset thing. So why? I think, you know, I said to myself, why can't I? I remember I was going to do something, and I said, no, I can't do that. I've never done that before. So why can't I do that? Like, how much am I going to keep living life like this that I can't do it anymore? And that's what I want you to ask yourself, is how are you going to get, like, we're in the 5th month of the year. I don't know if you set goals for 2019. And it's okay if you didn't. It's okay if you didn't. Because I never used to set goals either. But it's a great time to start now. Like, where are you going to end up at the end of the year? If it's the 5th month already. It's ticking fast. We get there and we show up and, you know, here's Christmas. And there's that cycle again. Oh, Christmas already? Do you believe it? The Christmas decorations are out in the shops already. And that's in October. You know, and the normal people, what they say. And they whinge about the weather, and they whinge about the time, and they whinge about the cold, and they just whinge about everything. develop the attitude, develop the consistency, and have the belief in yourself. Back yourself. Don't look for other people to back you. Back yourself. Cheer yourself on. And the best way to do that is this. You've got to congratulate yourself on the small successes. So let's just say, for instance, that you want to start exercising, you haven't exercised in a long time, right? So you go out and you start exercising. Congratulate yourself. That's awesome. I congratulated myself. If you want to start eating better, so you cut out soft drink tomorrow. One small little step, congratulate yourself. And I believe it's one thing that people don't do enough of is congratulate themselves. And when you congratulate yourselves, it injects your belief. And it really brings me to this bit. It's the cycle of success. For some of you on this call have seen this, and I've spoken to you about this. This is something that Tony Robbins teaches, and I've taken this from Tony Robbins, and I'm going to deliver this to you. Because when I understood this, it changed my belief. Would everybody agree that we all have potential? Everybody's got potential. We all have the same amount of potential. The action that we take is not based upon our potential. The action that we take is actually based upon the results that we get. Because if you get a result, like I was speaking to somebody the other day and they said, I've gained so much confidence, I've sold a couple of programs and I'm talking to more people. So the result created more action. So it's like when I was saying before about doing that one more rep. You do that one more rep, it's a result. So you take more action. You're like, well, fuck, I just did that. I'm going to take a little bit more action. It really starts with belief, but you've got to start with the belief. You've got to believe it for it then to flow to your potential, to tap into your potential. Where people generally start is with action. They start with action, they go to results, right? That's where they start. That's the result, the action result, action result, action result, action result, action result. No result, doesn't work. That diet didn't work. That business didn't work. That training regime didn't work. Because they had no belief. They didn't have the end outcome. The amount of belief you have determines the amount of potential you're going to tap into. So when you have that, when you have a clear vision, and that's why I say setting goals, when you have a clear vision of what the end outcome is going to be to the end of the year, and you have belief that you're going to achieve it no matter what, you tap into that potential. And you just keep knocking on the door of your potential until you break through. And then you're tapping on potential. Guess what you're doing? You're walking towards it. You're working towards getting that result. It's such a simple process, yet so many people just go action results, action results, action results, and there's no belief. And the belief is what we're going to help you unlock. The belief is where we're going to start. That's where we're going to really dwell into and help you discover what limiting beliefs you have, what empowering beliefs you have, and what disempowering beliefs you have. Because that's what's going to really allow you to open the doors for your future in whatever area that you want to do. Base jumpers. Who wants to go base jumping? Base jumping's mad. I've been skydiving, I've been bungee jumping. I wouldn't do it now. I'll be honest with you. There's no way. I'd probably do base jumping before, but I wouldn't do it now. I got my kids. I'm a little bit older now. My head's in a different headspace. But do you think when the base jumper goes to the edge of that cliff and jumps off, says, I hope my parachute opens. I hope that opens. I hope I don't crash and die. Because then they wouldn't jump out. They have belief in their parachute. Now, in saying that, let's be real here. Is there not a statistics of some parachutes not opening up and people crashing and dying? Yes. But they're not thinking that when they jump off the edge of the rock. Because if they thought that, they wouldn't do it. So I want you to think about your life, where you are today. I want you to think about, just go all in, take ownership and jump. You got to take MIA. It's massive, immediate action. All in, all in. Massive, immediate action. Because that's what it's about. It's not about, you know what, I want to go for a swim. Oh, it's cold. The water's cold. And you put your toes in the water. You know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No, it's cold. Just jump in. You know, you come to the edge of the rock, just jump in. Starting a business, jump in. You want to start exercising, go all in. Because it's 80% psychology, 20% skill. Don't worry about, let me learn the skills before I do the jumping. No. It's 80% psychology. It's 80% belief. It's 80% I'm going to go and do this, and I'm going to learn the skills as I go. I'm going to find the right mentor. I'm going to find the right coach. I'm going to hang out with the right people. That's the 20%. You've got people to back you. That's why you're here. But you've got to be willing to do MIA. I want you to think about that all the time. Just massive, immediate action. Just all in. All in. MIA. 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 That's all you got to be thinking about. Is this making sense? Good. Here's your call to action. Your call to action is this, guys. I want you'll get your sheet of paper. On the left-hand side, I want you to write disempowering beliefs. On the right-hand side, I want you to write empowering beliefs. This is an exercise that you must execute if you want to have success. An empowering belief could be, I'm going to achieve this goal no matter what. I'm going to lose that weight because I'm determined no matter what. Nothing's going to stop me. A disempowering belief could be, I'm not worthy enough to be in a relationship. I'm not attractive enough. I'm big boned. I'm not smart enough. I can't spell. I've never done it before. You know, all this type of stuff are disempowering you. And remember, if we go back to the triangle of language and meaning, they're disempowering. And I can honestly tell you this, is that we can write pages of disempowering beliefs. Pages. And guess what? If we come to the empowering beliefs, you'll be stuck like a handbrake. You'll be stuck like, what's empowering me? And that's okay, because I'm just creating awareness for you. That's all I'm doing. I'm creating awareness for you to go out there and understand what's going on in your own brain. Not what's going on in my brain, but what's going on in your own brain. What are you thinking about when you wake up in the morning? What are you thinking about when you go to sleep at night? What are you thinking about when you're driving to work or you're commuting to work? What are you thinking about when somebody says to you no? Is it an empowering belief or is it disempowering you? You only know that. And when you start to capture these and write them down on a piece of paper, get them out of here. That's why I said when we started this call, I said listening is not good enough. While you're listening and you're doing this, it's not good enough, guys. It's not good enough because you're not paying attention. But listening, writing, watching, you're fully committed. You're committed. It's 45 minutes of your time. It's an hour of your time. Some of you spend more time sitting in traffic than you spend with yourself and empowering yourself. Some of you will write this all down and do nothing with it. Some of you are going to write this down. You're going to take full action. And by the 4th week, it's going to absolutely revolutionize you. Change happens in a moment. Change happens when you make a decision. Change happens like this. That's when change happens. But first, I want you to do this exercise. I want you to spend time with yourself. And I would do this. If I was in your situation, when you get off the call, while this is fresh in your mind, spend 10 minutes just writing down things that are disempowering you. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to divorce them. I want you to divorce them. I want you to divorce your disempowering beliefs, and I want you to replace them with empowering beliefs. So when you say to yourself, I'm not good enough, cross that out because you're divorcing it. So no, I am good enough. I'm more than good enough. I'm determined. I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to create change. And keep revisiting your empowering beliefs. And what this is going to create is not change tomorrow. You're not going to wake up and go, oh, I'm a new person. You're going to feel different. But here's what it's going to do. That negativity, that disempowering belief is going to pop up. It's going to show up. And it's going to be like, surprise, you thought you left. I'm still here. But it's when that happens that you say, that's okay. No, I'm not going to think like that. I'm going to build that courage. I'm going to build my belief just like a muscle. When you go to the gym and you pump weights, you can't go just once and then in another 3 months go pump weights again and another 3 months go pump weights. It doesn't work like that. Ask any bodybuilder. They tear the muscle. They pump blood into the muscle every day to build that muscle. And it's the same thing with your own beliefs. You've got to inject that with positive thoughts daily, with the hour of power. It may not be an hour for you. If this is new to you, do 5 minutes, do 10 minutes. But take this, do it before you do anything else. Do it before you do anything else. Stay open-minded, be willing to be changed. Guys, because I can honestly tell you this, is that this is going to absolutely change your life. I know that for certain. I know that for certain. Because it's done this for me, and I know that it can do it for you. But you've got to be willing to execute. It's important that you go out there and execute. What I want you to do, if we aren't connected yet on social media, then connect on social media. And I think that everybody should have got an email with the Facebook group. But I'm not too sure what's going on there. But if anybody that's not part of the Facebook group can just message me, because I want us to stay connected, because I'm going to be giving you things and items over the next week that's going to really help you. And I want you guys to utilize me as much as possible. You know, reach out to me at a personal level. If you've got some things that are, you know, stopping you, some things that are challenging you, whatever it is, you know, whatever I can do to help, I'm happy to help, because that's what it's really about. You know, I just really want to see change in you, because that's what's going to make me happy. That's what's going to put a smile on my face at the end. And, you know, maybe if I can just open up the call, we've got, you know, 10 minutes or something, if this bloody works. Yep, cool. And maybe if anybody's got any questions or answers, or you just want to say hello, whatever it is, I'm happy to go through that stuff. Anybody? And if not, that's okay. I know it's a little bit sometimes daunting to speak in front of the camera. I used to feel that way too. All right,
Yeah,
cool.
buddy.
Okay, Tony.
I think a challenge for me is sometimes, most of the time, I have so many things that I want to do, but I don't have the right order. What do I do first? That's what I always say to myself. Shit, I know what to do, but sometimes I'm confused or I'm clouded. Which way to which direction do I go first? I know there's priorities, of course, one thing at a time, but at the same time, sometimes I get too clouded, I don't do anything.
Yep.
I don't know if everyone else is similar, but yeah.
Yep. So that's a really good question, Tony. I'm the same, and everybody on this call is different, because some people, like I've worked personally with Kelly. Kelly's more of somebody that wants things in a list, right? Tony, we could be, you and I are jumpers. We're like, got this idea, it's like, yep, let's just do it. but there's just so much going on that we do. Like sometimes we're pulling and pushing, and we're going around in circles. So what I've found is set yourself a task the night before. So let's just say tonight before you go to bed, I'm not really big on to-do lists, but tasks, outcomes. So in my calendar on my phone, I've got like my business, and I'd write my business tasks. What an imperative. Like, this is the outcome. I must achieve this regardless, right? And then execute that. Yeah, it's imperative. So it's like you've got to learn to say no to some things, and you've got to set yourself.
I think it's like what you're saying.
If you ask yourself this question, Tony, and this is for everybody, is what is my outcome right now? And if that outcome is not going to help you achieve whatever you put that is imperative on your list to do for that day, then you don't need to do that outcome. If it's going for coffee or speaking to this person, I'm busy. You're busy. You've got to employ yourself. You have to employ yourself in your own business. Really, really important. Does that kind of clarify or no?
Yeah, it does 100%. I actually do. I've started doing some lists, but my problem is, again, another thing I think is actually executing. Like what you said, I get sidetracked. So it's like what you're saying. You get sidetracked. Something else comes up, and you think, oh, okay, and then it sidetracks you. Then you leave that to-do list becomes irrelevant. And it's exactly what you're saying. That disempowering beliefs. It's like that. It's like that. The demons, you can say, like telling you don't do it all. You know?
Yep. You just got to work through that, Tony. There's nothing. We've all been there. I've personally been there. I talk upon myself, and it's just something that you just, like I said earlier, that you see the outcome and you're working towards. You know, an empowering belief is that, yes, I'm not consistent. Yes, this is affecting me, but I'm working towards, becoming a better person. I'm working towards achieving these goals. I'm working towards this. Yeah, and maybe instead of sending a big list, just do a small list tomorrow. And remember, celebrate the success, because it makes you feel better, because it's the result. Action result. You've got the belief now. You're going to tap into potential, but just do it small. Don't make it so big, because if your list is very big and you don't achieve them, guess what you do? You feel shit.
Yeah.
Excuse the French. You don't feel so good.
Yeah.
So just a small task tomorrow.
I think that makes a difference. Like what you said, is make it a small list, and then that way you got more time. I think more opportunity to achieve the goals that you set for yourself, or then tasks.
That's right.
Exactly what you said. Like sometimes I used to do a big list and think I'll give myself a month to do them, but you never get around to it. So, like you said, maybe make the list smaller, daily tasks. So.
Yeah, write this down in your notes. Jim Rohn, he's got a really cool audio clip if you go onto YouTube, and it's called setting your list, or setting your goals list. And it's really cool because he talks about, at the beginning, when you set lists, you got to set goals like a to-do list, daily stuff. And then when you get better, you start setting monthly goals. And then when you get better, it's quarterly. And then eventually you start setting goals for the year.
Is that Jim?
It's quite daunting if I say to you, I've mapped out the year. You've got to take it bite-sized pieces. You just got to set your daily tasks and work towards that. I hope that helps, Tony.
No, it does. It does. I just need to get. I need to work.
Action, man. Action.
Action. That's the main thing. Action and reward myself. And the rewards are there. They're waiting. They're waiting for me to grab them.
That's it, man. Go for it. Go for it, bro. Awesome. Anybody else? No, Joe's good. Alex, all good. Tilla? No, perfect. All right, guys. Well, I suppose we see you next week at the same time, same place. If you could all just reach out so we can add you onto the Facebook group so we can stay connected. And yeah, if there's anything that you need in the meantime, let me know. But remember, the call to action was to empowering beliefs and disempowering beliefs. And, just start spending time with yourself first thing in the morning before you do, work, emails, social media, whatever it is that you do first thing in the morning. And for some of you, it means you're going to have to wake up a little bit earlier. And, you know, it's starting to get cold here in Australia. Now we got our jumpers, and it's, you know, you don't really want to get up that little bit extra earlier, but you got to do what you got to do. You know, it's discipline. You know, it's a must, and you got to really shift those shoulds to must. So thank you so much, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I would love to hear some feedback. Denise, thank you from all the way from South Africa for jumping on. Don't know what time it is over there, but this is amazing, guys, that we all get to connect on this call, and I'm sure to deliver more information over the next 4 weeks that will really help you go out there and change your lives in 2019. All right, guys, like we always sign off, love to all, and peace. And I've just woken up all my neighbors.